Hey guys, and welcome back to the Polka Dot Palace. My name is Kelly. If you have not yet subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and make sure to leave a comment if you have something to say. Happy to answer any questions. I have actually decided that this week I'm going to redo this entire counter and cabinets. I spoke yesterday in my video about the fact that I have painted this counter twice before. It is a big deal, it's a lot of work, but it's a really cheap and easy way to completely change the look of this kitchen. My plan eventually is to rip these counters right out and replace them, and when I do that I'm going to replace the peel and stick tiles. We'll probably be replacing some of them this week just to fix the ones that have dented. The issue that I'm having with the counter right now is, one, I replaced the tap about 6 months ago. And when I did it the last time, I couldn't remove the tap to go around it, so you can see the discoloration around it where it wasn't finished. The other issue is I did this one off of a kit that used Varathane as the top coat, and because I used a white base, it's now turned yellow. So we want to get rid of that, we want to fix it. Cabinets, I originally did these, they were really plain, obviously hand-built. Took all the cabinet doors off, replaced all the hardware. I painted it this dark turquoise color that it was a mist tint when I was working at Sherwin-Williams. It cost me $10. Great amount for redoing cupboards. I also added trim and wallpaper, and unfortunately it's just been almost 5 years of they're dinged up and they need a little bit of TLC. I'll be honest, I don't really know what color yet. I'm thinking that we might be going to turquoise that's through the rest of the house, the really bright color. There's not a lot of that in this room. There's only a tiny little spot over top of the door. So we'll see how it goes, but step number one, this time I'm not going to use a kit. I will not be using the Rust-Oleum kit. If you do want to look into that, I'll make sure to leave a link. We'll go through all the steps, but first step's going to be get this cleared off and cleaned up. Okay, so counter's all cleared off. I'm not cleaning out the cupboards yet. That's probably not happening today. The counter's going to be the focus for today. Step one is going to be that I need to sand all of this. I will tell you right now, this is going to get messy. I'm going to be covered in dust. Everything in here is going to be covered in dust, and then I'm going to have to clean the whole thing. Because the open cupboards, I don't really see any point in taking everything out of here. It's probably going to be easier to just clean it, so that's what I'm going with. Did forget to mention, this is a detailed sander. It's got this lovely little pointed spot on it for doing this counter. I absolutely recommend this. This one's Black & Decker, but just any of these little detail sanders are amazing. And I am using 80 grit on this. I don't need it super scuffed up. I'm really just trying to take off that Varathane layer that's on the top so that I can smooth out any of those issues that I've had with it where it's sort of chipped. And then we'll start over. So, this just happened. This is one of the downsides of this. If water sits on painted countertops for too long, it kind of peels. So I'm going to do my best to kind of scrape what I can and sand this, and then we'll be back. Okay, so the other thing that I didn't do last time was I didn't unseal this sink. I just sort of painted around it. So the other thing that I'm going to try and do is lift the sink so that I can paint underneath it. Once it's dry, I can drop it and reseal it. It'll also give me the ability to go around the edges with steel wool and clean it all up. As you can sort of see, like, there's some paint and stuff. So all I'm doing to do that, see if I can get this in the right spot, is this is just my handy dandy paint scraper. And I'm just trying very carefully, sort of, to get underneath the edge of this. And then what we will do, I don't know if I can show this in here, is underneath the sink. I don't know if I can get it in the video. There's gonna be, let's see. How do I turn on the flash? So, if you go in there, you can just loosen those little bolts and we can lift the sink up and go from there. So, I'll be back once we get that done. Okay, so we ran into a bit of an issue. These are obviously very old, very crappy countertops to begin with, and I've painted them twice, and when I came over here, it started just peeling. So I did go in with a coarser sandpaper and just sort of try and smooth it out. And there's also an issue over here. I don't know if you can see it. It's gone soft, so replacing the counters is more of an issue than I thought, and we're gonna have to prioritize it. But I have, basically these are all now nicely sanded down. I will admit that for a minute there, I was thinking that I could maybe just clear coat it with Minwax and not varnish, and it would get rid of the yellowing. But now this has happened, so we don't have a choice. We're gonna keep going. I'll be back after everything's cleaned up. Okay, so we're back. The dust is cleaned up. It took me about an hour. I did loosen the bolts on the sink at the back. I've spent the last like 30 minutes trying to get underneath the lip of this thing to unseal it, and it's not happening. I think I'm going to take out the whole counter if I do, so we're going to paint around it when we do. So the first step to this is going to be 2 coats of white primer. I can't show you the can because it actually spilled all over in the plastic bag that I have it in, so I'm going to put it into a bucket and work from that. I'm going to put 2 coats of white primer on here, and then we'll be done. Okay, so that's the first coat. As you can tell, it's a little blotchy. It's just the first coat of primer. Once it's dry, we're going to put on a second coat, and then we'll be back. Okay, so we now have 2 coats of white paint on the counter, and we've made a decision. I'm going to do it solid, and I'm going with turquoise. So this is Sherwin-Williams Duration. I worked for Sherwin-Williams for a little while, so I know quite a bit about them. This is not the cover color that you can just order. It is a mist tint originally that has now become known as Kelly's Intangibly Turquoise. But we're going to put 2 coats of this on it, and we'll be back. Welcome back. It is, I don't know, about 8 o'clock on Monday. We've done 2 coats on the counter. It needs another coat. Few things going on. Because I pointed at that, I could not lift the sink. I have literally painted the sink to cover in the holes. I will tomorrow probably have to go in with steel wool and clean all of that. And the other thing that I didn't say is because I had 2 coats and it was really streaky, I knew that I was going to have to do a 3rd coat. For the last coat, don't use a brush. Make sure you use a roller. You'll get a much cleaner finish. This is probably all we're doing today. I still need to clear coat it. I need to clean off the sink. However, it's late and I'm tired, so tomorrow we will continue on our counter project. If you have not yet, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment below.